Welcome back to another Mixed Media Tuesday, and today I'm going to share an art journal page. I'm working on my 6x6 art journal booklet, and this is a watercolor one with watercolor pages. And I'm going to start with one of my favorite and go-to techniques. I will use some rice paper and cut out some rectangles. Now this is a beautiful rice paper with beautiful designs from the new Stamperia collection, Whispering Woods. I'm not going to use the designs, so I'm very carefully cutting around them. I want to store them and maybe I can use them on another project. So all I did was just use the background pieces and cut out my favorite rectangles. Now for sticking everything down, I'm going to use this new to me glue, which is soft and matte. I am out of my favorite rice paper glue, so I'm just going to test this out and see if it works with rice paper and with sticking everything down. So up to now I'm super happy because it is very easy to spread with a brush, it doesn't smell, and I can use it to cover the rice paper as well. So I'm just creating a patchwork. This is one of my favorite looks, and I feel like when I don't know what to create or I don't have enough time, it is a great way to just start with something. Cut out rectangles without measuring, you don't have to think at all, and just create a little patchwork. I am overlapping, as you can see, so I get all those overlapped areas, and then the next step is to just use some stamping. Now I'm using one of my favorite stamp sets. This is one that I designed for backgrounds. It's been 2 or 3 years old, it's discontinued, but with my designs with Stamperia, it's you have to move fast when I come up with ideas. So anyway, I'm sure you all have some background stamps with text or circles or postal stamps. Now I'm going to move on to the next step, and this is to add some paste. I have a brand new jar of volume paste. I go through those jars a lot. It's my absolute favorite paste to use because it is nice and thick, and I also use a new stencil. Absolutely love this one as well because it gives that cozy sweater look, which is perfect for this weather. Now I always try to apply the paste as randomly as I can without creating rectangles or just transferring the whole design. I like to keep the background kind of organic. Now another thing that you can do with a volume paste is to just apply it with your spatula in different areas. So here I end up having some texture over my lovely background. Now I am going to add a finishing touch. I want to have some splatters. For that, here I'm using the aqua color spray in the color leather, I believe, but you can use different ways to add some splattering. You can even dilute acrylic paint with water. Now for my focal points, I'm going to play with a junk journal. This is new to me and I absolutely love it. I have used it a lot of times. This is one reel that I created using the same collection, Whispering Woods, and you can find it on my channel. This is another reel where I created this tag, again for fall, and it's a magnet, so I'm going to place it on top of my fridge. And here are some cards. All of these products are made using this collection, and I'm going to share even more. I absolutely love it. It is perfect for this weather, and I also find it super cute. So the junk journal, if you haven't seen it yet, it's a booklet where you get many pattern papers, but at the same time you get some pages with stickers and some pages with ready-made cutouts. So I'm going to show you, this is the thick pattern paper, front and back printed. Then these are elements that you can just pop out, and they don't have a white border all around them, so you don't have to do any fussy cutting, and you get everything in a book. I'm really excited about this one. Now I think that Stamperia is going to come up with one of those booklets for pretty much every new collection that they come up with, which is good news because you get one booklet and you have everything, all your ephemera, your backgrounds for cards, your stickers. I'm trying to peel off the sticker here. Just make sure that you don't tear it. Now this is thin sticker. It's going to blend lovely on top of your projects, and at the same time it is not shiny at all. It's completely matte. I'm going to move it around and try to catch the light for you. Probably you can see that it is not shiny. So now I'm going to pick some elements from the cutouts, and you can see that these are printed front and back, so you can flip them depending on which way you want them to face. And of course, in terms of cutout pieces, you can get the die cuts or the ephemera packs as well that are great for this collection. The die cuts are chipboard, the ephemera are thinner, but they have a little bit of a shine on them. There are many options. I absolutely love the junk journals, so that's what I'm going for today. So I'm going to ink up the edges of all my elements to get rid of that white edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick everything down and create my composition. I want to have the composition on one side, on one corner, and then leave quite enough of empty space where I can stick a big bold sentiment. Whispering Woods collection is designed by my dear friend Farrell Taylor. I absolutely love her. She's super talented, and I think that she did an amazing job with this collection. Now, since I'm using a new glue, I am also going to use that to seal my ephemera. Remember, this is just paper, pattern paper. And I want to use my favorite technique where I use a marker to make the colors more vibrant, to add shadows and highlights here and there. So for that technique to work with my big brush markers, I need to make sure that the background is sealed down and that it is non-porous. So I'm using this glue just to test it out since it is new to me and see if that would work for that technique. So I'm making sure that everything is nicely covered, and I'm just trying to decide if I want to add any more. But no, I'm going to stop here. I'm happy with the composition, and now I'm going to make sure that this layer of glue is completely dry before I go and grab my markers. Otherwise, the tip of the markers is going to touch that glue, and you don't want to do that. Before I do that, I did grab my stamp with the text and added a little bit of text in some areas, not all over the place on these ephemera pieces, just a little detail that is going to bring the background with the foreground elements together so that they look like a coherent project. Now I'm going to bring in my big brush markers. You can find them in different barrel sizes. You can find them with dual tips or only with one. They are by Faber-Castell, and you can look for them with the PITT. These are the Pitt markers. So I work only with them over non-porous surfaces. I touch the tip of the marker in an area and I smudge it with my finger. This is going to dry completely permanent, but before it dries, and just because I work on a non-porous surface, I'm able to smudge it around. So you see, I make the colors more vibrant. It doesn't cover what is underneath because it's not acrylic marker, but it doesn't dry instantly because it's not an alcohol marker. So if you are wondering, these markers do have Indian ink inside, and I absolutely love them. I have them for years and I go back to them again and again. So I usually go with a darker color to add some shadow over my ephemeras, or with a lighter color to make it look more vibrant. I love to add highlights or shadows like I'm doing here with a brown marker, and I feel like by doing these little touches here and there, it really makes a difference. Another step that I like to do is to use a very thin black marker and add some sketchy lines around my ephemera, not all over the place and not creating the perfect outline, just like as if I'm adding some shadows, which is going to help those elements pop against each other. Then I'm going to use a white gel pen and touch some areas, again, some highlights here and there without overthinking it too much. Now, of course, if you follow my videos and you know how I work, I cannot stop without adding some splatters. So I'm using here white calligraphy ink, and this is the Winsor & Newton jar. Any white calligraphy ink is great for adding splatters. And now all that's left to do is to add finishing touches and of course a quote. I always like to add a quote. Now for the finishing touches I'm using my white contour liner and I'm going to add some dots. These are nice and dimensional on top of my mushrooms. And then for my quote I just went with hello fall. I cut out the word fall using black cardstock and my favorite alphabet. You will find it linked down below. It is called Festive. And then I'm going to pair that with just a simple printout word hello. So I have these dies for years and years. I absolutely love this font and I go back to it again and again. Now as I'm putting together the word, I make sure that I don't stick everything on a line, so they are not perfectly aligned and straight. This way I don't have to worry too much about it because intentionally I'm sticking them up and down, and I don't have to worry at all about alignment. Now I intentionally left a little bit of a gap between the letter F and the letter L because I like to nest my quotes somehow, my words, and that's where I'm going to stick the word hello. People like to ask me if I pre-plan things. I don't generally pre-plan things. I know, for example, in this case that I want to use this collection today. But when it comes to the sentiment, I definitely pre-plan how I'm going to put it together. Now I had some trouble with my old white gel pen. It happens to everyone. It happens to me all the time. So I had to grab a new one. I'm adding some highlights and this is going to finish the page for today. You can see here some close-up photos. All the supplies are linked below with some coupon codes for a couple of shops. Thank you all so much for joining me and I hope that you had fun and that you got inspired.